I am working on the necklace that I had talked about in the last video. So I'm going to size the chain. From there, I've already got some of the parts that I need. I've got the clasp that's going to go on the chain, and then I have my little jump rings that I use. It's hard to show you because I'm on my iPad. My usual system of recording isn't working right now, so I have to make do with what I have, so bear with me. I apologize. So anyway, I am trying to set everything up here. When I spoke to my client, and let me backtrack real quick. I'm making this necklace for a client of mine, and I'm using a sapphire stone. You may have seen the video. I'll go ahead and link that here so that you can watch it if you haven't already seen it. We had talked about making a necklace like this. This is the one that I make already, and it's a circle necklace. And this one that I already make is a choker. She wants hers to be longer. And when I met up with my client, she had liked this necklace that I always wear. It's a dangling crystal. I have the quartz crystal, and she really liked the chain a lot. She liked the weight, how heavy it felt, the thickness. She just felt it was substantial compared to this one. And like I had spoken before about scale and the fact that I'm going up in size with this necklace as far as like the thickness of the metal and also the size of the circle. You can see comparatively there's a big difference. So it just makes sense to go up in size in both the thickness of the metal and also the chain and things like that. So to get that started, I have to measure out the chain. She liked the length of the chain that I was wearing, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. So I'm just lining everything up so that I can go ahead and make my cuts. You know the saying, measure twice, cut once. So anyway, in this case, I don't have to actually measure. I just got to make sure that it's the same length as my necklace. So my eyes are kind of going bad these days. Ever since I started wearing optovisors and doing jewelry, it seems like my vision is just going. So it could be my age too. So there you go. So anyway, I'm measuring, so I've got to get these ends here lined up so that I can try and measure them the same length. So measure twice, cut once. So I've got the crystal on there, so it's going to be a little crazy. I'll line that up as best I can. Okay. And of course, the crystal is blocking my way. I probably should have pulled it off. Okay, so I'm going to cut right in here. I'm just using some nippers, make the cut, and see if I can pull this off without actually using pliers. Yep, got it. Okay. So I will take this one off, that little jump ring, and now we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and hold up the two again. Through that one, just barely. And then hold up the two. Actually, let me And it's okay if I'm like off a link or two. That's not going to be a huge difference. But the goal is to get it as close as possible. So let me grab that one again. And that one here. Hold those up. Yep, right on the money. Okay, so now all I have to do is add the clasp, and actually no, that's a lie. I'm going to have to add the jump rings because this one, as you can see, it's the actual chain has been cut and then attached to the circle itself. So I kind of told you a bit of a lie there. So anyway, I will have to go in and do that. So that's not too terribly difficult. I'll measure again and make sure everything's good. I'm also going to have to go up on the size of jump rings that I have here. See, these ones are a bit tiny, but it also fits the size circle there. So once I cut out the circle from the template here, once I cut it out of metal, then I will have to adjust it. So I'm going a bit thick with this one because we wanted it to be substantial. And it's funny because when I was cleaning up my bench here so I could do this work, I came across these copper washers. They're not exactly the same gauge, but they're pretty close. And when I put them up to my design, it's almost the same size. Not quite, it's a little bit off, but it's pretty close. So, and then also I was looking at the thickness. I'm going to use this 12 gauge, and the thickness, let's see. This is 14 gauge. So it's a little bit thinner, but that's okay. This will be nice and substantial. So anyway, I will have to have jump rings. I think what I'm going to do in this case, because we are going wider, I believe this is about the same width. Yeah, it's about the same width there as what I've drawn in here. So I think what I'm going to do here is, instead of doing a round jump ring like I have here, I'm going to make some oval jump rings, and that'll add a nice touch. That way the jump rings don't protrude from the circle, and it'll help it to lay nice and flat. So it's just little things like that that make all the difference. So anyway, the next step will be to glue down my pattern, cut it out, and start filing, because this is going to have to be filed for sure once I cut it out. So I will be back with that.